was his North American home. Before he changed his name while making his way to the United States, Montrealers knew him as Le Géant Jean Ferret. Other local heroes, like Paul and Maurice Mad Dog Vachon, Pat Patterson, Dino Bravo, Larry Moquin, Eddie the Brain Creechman, Gino Brito, and the littlest champion of them all, Little Beaver, have all graced the Forum with their presence and gave the fans a performance that made them come back to wrestling time and again. Many wrestling fans remember the night when Killer Kowalski met Yukon Eric in the Forum. This match went down as one of the bloodiest matches of all time. During one of his attacks, Killer Kowalski accidentally sliced off his opponent's ear as he jumped off the third rope with a knee drop. The Forum had become a place where you could cheer on your heroes in action as they accepted challenges from all comers. Wrestling in the Montreal Forum became a staple in the Forum's sports entertainment venue. I had the pleasure of interviewing Raymond Rougeau about the closing of the Forum and his experiences there and the opening of the new Molson Center. Raymond is of the Rougeau family, who have a long-standing wrestling tradition carried through 3 generations.
I remember when I was a kid watching my dad, there was no thrill in the world like that. When you're a kid, you look at your dad. That's your dad, and you're looking at him being in the ring. There's so much history in the old Forum and stuff, and we'll finally go into the new Forum and start the next wave of history, I want to be a part of that new history. I've been a part of the old history. The whole family's been a part of the old history. Right now, sometimes I get the urge, I told my dad, I said, if I was to go in the ring one more time, I said it would have to be in Montreal. That's the only place in the world that could motivate me to go back in one more time.
Beginning his professional wrestling career at 16, Raymond has been involved with Forum wrestling for over 15 years. When asked about what matches and moments stick out in his memory, Raymond had this to say.
There's one in particular in 1985 against the Garvins. We sold out the Forum. We turned people away. That was... And the electricity in the Forum that night was, absolutely deafening. It was incredible. I could say that is one of my fond memories there. Well, there's another fond memory that became not too fond later. In 1987, when we won the WWF Tag Team Championship at the Forum against the Hart Foundation, and for whatever reason, 3 days later they took the titles away. But we still had, let's say, our moment of glory there. That was right up there in the memories.
Montreal Forum crowds for any event have always maintained a steady reputation for being outrageous, and it is no different for the fans of wrestling.
You know what, the fans, they were incredible. Even after being out of the ring, and I went back in to host a few shows, be a guest ring announcer or whatever, I'd walk down the aisle, and they'd give me a standing ovation. That is heartwarming. They gave us such a warm welcome. It was like, it's undescribable. They're showing how appreciative that they were, let's say, or how, they liked the effort that we put in going all over the world representing them, and they were expressing themselves. The Montreal crowd, to me, is unique in the world. I don't know if I'm being, I'm not being objective because I'm from here, and maybe they were warmer to us than they were to anyone else, but you come down that aisle and you've got, 15, 20,000 people there that are literally screaming their lungs out to you. And you look at them, and I've seen people just looking at me with tears in their eyes, just looking, and you can feel the warmth, you can feel the love from them. Every time, I've been out of the ring for 6 years now, and every time I go to the Forum, I go down to the ring, and I take the mic, and I welcome the fans and all that, and the response they give me when I walk in, the welcome, it gives me goosebumps.
Raymond offered some final advice to those who feel bad about the closing of the Forum.
They shouldn't feel sad that the Forum is closing or bad. It's been one of the greatest buildings in the world where there's been a lot of history and stuff, and we're fortunate enough to have had that building here in our city, and now we can look forward to the future. What is life? Life is the future, and the Molson Center is the future. So now all our memories will be from the new forum. And, you know, like they always say, well, the good old days, good old days. Well, this Molson Center is going to be the good old days, just, you know, years down the road.
Look for the first wrestling card to come to the new forum around August. For 990 CKGM, I'm Frank.